and saludos programas, and welcome back to another episode of El Juego, a Pathfinder2E campaign. I am Adolfo the Nerdy Puerto Rican. I am your game master. And let's go around and introduce the most important part of this, my players. And let's start with who's on top of on the top square. Alice, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Alice. I like to play D&D and Pathfinder and role-playing games. I will be playing Arriety, who is a halfling monk for this campaign.
Excellent, excellent. And we, because of life, even though two of our players have disappeared, we did get to pick up a new player, and we're very happy for that. Callum, go ahead, introduce yourself and introduce the character that you're going to be playing.
Hello everyone. My name's Callum. I am a creative person, is what I'll describe myself as. I work a lot in theatre in the country I'm from, which is Wales. I use they, them, and new pronouns. Today I will be playing Pocket Knife, who is a Whisper Elf Rogue. They use they any pronouns, depending on what the mood is that they're in. This is the first time I've played Pathfinder properly. I played Starfinder a bunch. So this will be... Bear with me. I'm pretty good at picking up systems, but there's a lot of book, and I've had about 2 hours of brain space over the last few days, so this is going to be really fun. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. You're going to fit into the chaos just fine. And finally, we have Anna. Anna, go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Anna or Riley, whichever one you prefer. I use they them pronouns, and I will be playing Trygve, who is a cavern elf shadow sorcerer. And I'm very happy to be back playing this character.
All right. So let's go ahead and set the scene. Originally, Arriety, Trygve, Lazarus and Sinisa. Lazarus is a humanoid, and Sinisa is a little what other players would consider would think of Leshy, but they are an indigenous creature to Boricabos. You all were hired to find this professor. You set out, and currently we are at... You think that you have found the professor's home. The team had trudged... the team has trudged through a rainforest to get to the professor's house, or what we think is the professor's house. The house, it sits on a cliff overlooking the ocean, so the sounds of waves crashing below can be heard. There's a bit of a stiff, warm wind that is blowing in off of the ocean waters. Because no one has actually gone over to the cliffside, you can't really tell exactly how far down it is, but it does look like you are up. That this is up at a good height, and also a storm has rolled in very Caribbean tropical way. a storm cloud has rolled in, and it's now starting to rain. Currently, it is very light. The raindrops are very heavy, however, but you can actually see the rain band, which is, it's maybe like 500 feet away, but you can see just this rain band of a heavy deluge of rain that's coming in. So currently, Lazarus, Sinisa, and Arriety were at the doorway. The doorway to the house is open. The house looks like it kind of does look out of place. It's of a colonial Western European build. One level, all right? Whereas a lot of the other architecture in Barricabos does have like that tropical Caribbean structure style, where you had some structures that looked that have that Spanish influence. You had other structures that have a native indigenous inspiration to it. This does look very different. It looks very. It's one level, and it looks very much like a one level, like flat would look in Wales. One level small house would look where you're at, Anna. And it looks very boring. On the outside, everyone did see that on the to the left of the outside, there was what appeared to be a cooking fire. And then you also do see or did see when you came in that the house does sit about 75 feet from the cliff's edge, and then in between the house and the cliff's edge, but maybe closer, at least that you saw to the cliff's edge, there was a gazebo, a stone gazebo that had stone columns and like a rounded roof. But again, this is just stuff that you all saw as you were coming in. Callum, you're I'm sorry, what was your character's name again? Let me write that down real quick.
They go by pocket knife.
Okay, so so that's what you all would have seen. Currently, Arriety, Lazarus, and Sinisa are at the doorway. Lazarus and Sinisa, because Sinisa was kind of like on Lazarus's shoulder. Sinisa actually pipes up and says, I think I recognize this area. There might be something over there. And Lazarus, he says, well, we need to still check what's going on inside. Arriety, and he turns, Arriety and Trygve, why don't the two of you continue on and explore here? I will go with Sinisa, and we will go investigate to the area where Sinisa believes that they know that they recognize.
Sure.
Okay.
We will handle this.
Okay. So Sinisa and Lazarus, they both nod, and they say, we'll meet you back at Carmen's if anything goes awry, and they head off back out into the rainforest. So now, Arriety, that leaves you at the doorway. The doorway is open. There is a knocked out orc on the floor, half in, half out. at least he's not moving. The orc is not moving. So that much you know. And then Trygve, you are in the tree line, about 20 feet away from the door, across from the door. So, what would we like to do?
I think the last time I detected magic and there was or wasn't anything. I don't remember. I think I did it twice. I think the first time there wasn't, and the second time there was, but I don't remember.
So the second time there was a ping of magic.
I guess now that the others have left, Trygve would come closer and investigate as well.
Yeah, I did want to peer into the building and just. Is there anything else I can see?
Okay, Arriety, give me a perception roll. And then Trygve, I'm sorry. What did you want to do?
I would get closer to the doorway, but also considering Ariety's looking, can I listen instead? Because that's something that I'm a little bit better at, considering for everyone else, Trygve has one working eye. So I would like to listen if there's considering there was one orc, if I can hear any other maybe rustling or whatever.
Yeah. So go ahead and give me a perception listening check.
Cool. Oh no, absolutely not. That is 9.
I got a 16.
Okay. So Trygve, it is for you. It is. It's hard to get a good listen just for the simple fact that you have waves that are crashing, seagulls that are seagulling, and the rain has started to pick up. And I don't know if you've ever been in one of those deluges. Deluge type rainstorms, but the rain is coming down really heavy, and when it hits, it's like so it is also messing with your hearing.
Okay.
Arriety, as you look inside the doorway, you see a room that appears to be square, 20 by 20. There's a carpet. The room looks scholarly, messy, because you see a lot of stacks of books, kind of all over the place. In the, let's call it the northeast corner on the north wall, you do see what appears to be a fireplace, but there's books shoved in the fireplace and on top of the fireplace. The books that are shoved in the fireplace are not burnt, but it actually quite literally looks like the person is using the fireplace as a bookshelf. And then there's other items and whatnot. And with your perception, you also do see what appears to be a humanoid. They're on the ground. Currently, there is no light source. You had the daylight coming in through some windows, but now, of course, because of the rainstorm coming in, it has gotten darker. And because there's no light source in the room, it is a little hard to make out. But you do see that there's a humanoid on the ground, and it appears that they're at least you can see their feet are tied up. And it looks like they might have a bag over their head. You also do see on the north wall in the middle, you see a doorway that leads further into this house. What would you like to do, Arriety?
Okay. I'm so anxious, right? They're so. Okay, but I don't want to get wet, and I don't know. Maybe that person's a bad guy, but they look they're in trouble. Okay, I'm gonna stealth in to the room.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
8.
Okay. Awesome. Trygve, you see Arriety has started to enter the house. What would you like to do?
I guess I could see that it's not very stealthy. That maybe she's trying, but it's not really working. And I guess, seeing that, then no, go ahead.
Arriety, how do you think that you stealth into the room? But what happens?
Okay, she's just doing her best. Okay, but she's like trying to pick her way like around the orc, but has dramatically not assessed size difference correctly, right? Because she's a halfling and this orc is like 6'6" probably. I'm just making that up. So she's like, I got this. I can be like the shadows. I am like the night. And she's trying to pick her way through the orc, but trips on his leg and like kind of stumbles in and like falls into the room.
Yeah, I guess if Trygve sees that sort of steps in, reaches down to lightly pat Arriety's shoulder in like you tried kind of way, and then just goes inside. Because I've got dark vision, so I don't know if I can see any better.
Yeah, so with your dark vision, you actually do get a better look of the room, but more importantly, you do see that there is in fact an individual that is bound with a bag over their head. This individual is laying in between, or I shouldn't say laying, but they are positioned in between two rather big one big stack of books and one big stack of scholarly stuff, you know. And they are like half sitting up on the wall type situation. You do hear a slight moan from underneath the bag that is over this individual's head.
Right. I guess Trygve would try and get the bag off the head. I guess first look and then knowing that Arriety is there as well, to keep an eye in the air out. Would try and get the bag off this person's head. See if they're okay.
Excellent. So Arriety moves over and you pull the bag from the individual's head. And Pocket Knife, go ahead and describe Pocket Knife, what Pocket Knife looks like. What would Arriety and Trygve see initially on Pocket Knife? And yeah.
So they are tall, as most elves are. Very pale. It's not. It goes so pale it starts to become grey. That's how pale their skin is. They have you notice their insectoid eyes that kind of define elves in this world. Is slightly purple and a gem on their forehead, which is also purple. They have their hair tied back into a ponytail. So you can't quite tell how long the hair is meant to be. It's very neat and tidy. It's kind of again, it's very grey whitish, but with some subtle highlights of purple throughout the hair. They are wearing a very tight shirt that is mostly V. There is just like there is so much chest showing. You're kind of surprised they're wearing a shirt at all, and extremely tight pants. So the shirt is like this white, ruffly, like it is the V and then the ruffles alongside it, kind of pirate attire without the pirate coat. And they're wearing like these brown, I guess like almost circus wear pants. So when you see a acrobat, a circus might wear. Am I gagged at all, or is it just am I like waking up from being hit on my head?
So the orcs being orky, they thought that the bag that they put over your head also would serve as a sound deterrent, even though it was just a burlap sack.
Well, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I guess also what Pocket Knife we've seen is instead is also an elf, but different. Also has gray skin, but darker gray skin, and has longer dark blue hair with a little braid going to the side. Clearly white eyes. One of them, the right eye, is very damaged with like a little scar going across like that. And just completely dark attire, like dark clove, having black fingerless gloves that seem to be hand knitted. And Trygve is doing sort of a double take because they used to work at a circus as an acrobat, so they're kind of like interested in this whole attire. But it's a very quick glance. Like, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. You know, you can take all the time you need to observe. Keep it in your memory. But if you could untie me, that would be nice.
Sure, of course. And you'll go and try and untie.
Like what happened? Like why are you here? Are you okay?
Arriety, go ahead and describe what your character looks like, what Pocket Knife would see when they look upon Arriety.
Sure. So I would be like tall, like a 3 foot tall. I would appear as a child, but I am closer to being an adult, but I'm a halfling. So I've got red hair tied up in a big, huge clip, and wearing like loose fitting tones of brown. Clothes, just it's clearly there for like ease of movement, just so she can move around, that kind of thing. Yeah, so you see these big blue eyes just looking at you like, oh my god, are you okay?
Well, I'm okay now. Thank you for dealing with that orc who caught me by surprise.
What were you doing here exactly?
I am here as a concerned citizen. I was looking for a friend of a friend who was missing.
I see.
Their name didn't happen to be Michael.
Oh, yes. Yes.
We're looking for them too.
Yeah. Well, I was, in fact, hoping to find them. As I have heard, they haven't been seen for a while. And my skill set is in procuring information and things for people who need them. And I was asked very politely to... They check their pockets. Okay. No. Still there. Very nicely to assist in finding this person's friend who had gone missing. Who was doing some important work for the people of this continent.
Right.
By the way, Pocket Knife, as you checked yourself, you do notice that sack of coin that I said you had gotten originally is gone.
Oh, it has gone. Oh. Can I do a perception check to see if I can see it around in the area at all?
Yeah, by all means. While he does that, Arriety and Trygve, what do you want to do? Arriety, let's start with you. What do you want to do?
Well, as far as Ares is concerned, she's like, oh, great. The orc's knocked out. This guy's fine. Let's go see if we can find Michael's diary or even himself. So she's gonna start looking around the piles of books and stuff.
Okay, all right.
That sure was an 11 on that perception check.
Okay. So let me just write that down. Hang tight 1 second. Okay, Arriety, you can, Arriety, you can also give me a perception check. Hang on 1 second. If you have like an investigate or yeah, either just like a regular perception check or like if you have some sort of investigation. Unfortunately the Pathfinder skills list is huge, and I don't think I'm looking at a full skill list. So, if you see a skill that you have that looks like it would aid you in searching this room, then you may use it. Callum, same thing with you. So I don't know if you have anything that would change your roll from an 11. But Arriety, just hold your roll after you do it. And then Trygve, what are you doing?
I'm trying to look for the thing that triggered my detect magic.
Okay. So detect magic in this world. So one of the things that affects detect magic is solid surfaces, so like walls and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So your detect magic was able to detect something on the other side of the walls inside of the house in this general area. However, your it's not like it didn't give you an exact location. It just kind of gave you like a roundabout. So if you did want to do another like detect magic, or if you just kind of want to search around, maybe do like an Arcana check on some things and whatnot.
I think they would do it again. So what the others would see is that they're doing the I think it's, does it say what it is? Yeah, so somatic and verbal. So the words and the hand shapes, and there's this shadow that falls off of him and sort of spreads out like a ripple. And if anything were to go off, it would just go back into him. If nothing was detected, it would just fade away again.
Okay. So, and really quick, Trygve, out of curiosity, what is your what's your perception bonus to your listening?
So it would be a +6.
+6, okay.
And so sight would be +4.
Okay. Pocket knife. Are we still staying with the 11?
Yeah, I've rolled a 4 and I got the +7 on my perception, and I've got nothing else that's going to particularly help me here. So yeah, it was just a 11.
Okay. Arriety, what was your perception?
21.
Okay, Trygve, so let's start with your detect magic. So, your shadows go out, and as no one else can really see this, but you can see this because they're your shadows. You see your shadows kind of emanate out, and as they get to like the walls of the room, they kind of like bounce off. That indicates the detect magic, being interfered by the walls. However, you do see some of the shadow go through, which, because you know your spell, you would realize that would mean that the walls aren't the thickest.
Okay.
But as this shadow seeps through the east wall, you get a faint sensation. However, your detect magic bounces back onto you.
Yeah, it's like an echolocation kind of. It goes back.
Yeah. It bounces back as if there might be something over there. But again, it's very vague, and it's behind this wall. But it's behind a wall.
Okay.
You would. So that's what you get. Callum. So yeah, you look around specifically for your bag, and you're not finding it. You look on the orc's body. How do you search around? Go ahead and explain to us how you search around.
I think they're trying really hard to play it cool. So after being untied, they're just like limping up and walking around the room, trying to look natural while they kind of ponder around everything. Like reach down to the orc, just pat them, trying to make it look like they're not desperately searching for the gold they've been paid for this job. But very clearly doing a bad job of looking like this is something that anyone would do after being knocked out. So eventually just kind of gives up. Does the orc have anything on them in general?
So searching the orc in Windy 11, you do find that the orc has, first and foremost, they're wearing trousers. Okay. They have boots on. The boots are very old, very tattered. The trousers he's wearing have been like sewn and resewn numerous times. He has leather, like a leather armor type vest situation. Mechanically, it would count as leather armor. But thematically, it's just like a leather chest. And he has a club that's got like some nails sticking out of it. It quite literally looks like a piece of wood that has had just some bits hammered into it. Other than that, you find a piece of string in a pouch, some hardtack, and like 3 copper.
Well. Thank you very much. Taking the 3 copper and the string.
The piece of string is about 6 inches long, and it's like a sisal type string. So, Arriety, so you go about and you're looking through all the books, because you are not knowledgeable about the super sciences and whatnot. A lot of these books are over your head. A lot of these books are super heavy. A lot of these books have words like multi-dimensional and particle nucleic alchemical divisioning of parallel universes and this, that, and the other. Just like big words that, if they were fists, would be punching your face and doing max damage. But you don't find anything in here that appears to be like a journal. There's no like writing desk or anything. Again, this just kind of looks like, once it was maybe like a entry vestibule, if you will, but now is quite literally like a depository for books. The 3 of you, however, do hear, after a few moments of you all doing what you do hear deeper in the house a really loud, like, bang, 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 and what sounds like someone uttering a curse. Not a magical curse, but, like a farts or darn curse.
Trygve immediately stops what he was doing and goes to investigate. Isn't necessarily to turn to stealth, but because they haven't been stealthing the whole time, so they would assume that the other person might have hurt them. But is absolutely going to try and find this person. But even though he's not stealthing, he is like careful, so it's not like rushing in or whatever.
Okay. Callum?
Yeah, I think I'm going to follow, but I am going to be stealthy about this.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll and just hold on to your roll until I ask for it. And then Arriety, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna follow Trygve, just kind of be right behind.
I think you're muted.
I can hear myself several times, so I don't know.
I will attempt to work on that. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So can you hear me or no?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just following right behind Trygve. I'm not trying to be particularly stealthy.
Okay. Okay. So this noise did sound like it came, as I said, deeper into the house. So you are gonna have to go through the doorway that is on the north wall. Everyone's heading out.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everyone proceeds. What marching order do we want to take here?
I think Trygve would go first. Considering they immediately reacted to the sound. And, yeah.
Okay. All right. So
I think if Trygve and Arriety go in front, Pocket Knife is following in their shadow, basically.
Okay. All right. So then Trygve, Arriety, and then Pocket Knife. Excellent. So you all go through the doorway, and before you go through the doorway, you do see that this doorway does lead into a hallway. The hallway extends to the left and to the right. It extends to the left about 15 feet before it looks like it splits into another hallway. And then to the right, it goes 10 feet before it dog ears to the left. Which, point of information, Trygve, the magic that you detected would be to the right. Did I say that right? Yeah. So left, the hallway extends 15 feet and then comes to like a T intersection, and then to the right, the hallway goes 10 feet and then dog ears to the left.
Okay. And the sound came from
the
we don't know.
So Arriety, since you got the higher perception roll, you got that the sound, to follow the sound you would have to go to the left.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll indicate that to Trygve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he keeps walking. And I guess just no, actually, I'm not gonna say anything yet. Just trying to see if I can see someone first. You just keep walking.
Okay, so we're going to the left.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all enter to the left. This house, other than that sound that you heard, is very, very quiet. The floor appears to be stone. The walls appear to be like they're lightly plastered over. However, you do see that there's some areas of the wall that have kind of like chipped off, and you see that there is wood behind the plaster. You do also see on the walls, like very randomly, you see like um, drawings and rubbings and etchings, kind of like all spattered up on the wall. Um, you continue down the hallway, the 15 feet to the left, and you come to that T intersection. So, Trygve, you're able to see at this T intersection to the left, there's a doorway that leads into what appears to be another room. Um, Again, just very quickly looking, the room has a lot of clutter in it, but it does appear to be there does appear to be like a table and chairs in that room. Again, this is just like quick look to the left type situation, and then to the right, it does look like the hallway continues on to the right. Um, it continues from where you are 5, 10, 15, 20. It continues 25 feet. However, like directly to the right of you, like right here, you see that there's another doorway. You kind of peek that you can kind of also peek your head in, and as you peek your head in there, it appears to be like a dining room type situation. But again, there's a lot of clutter going on. That that's what you get initially. What would you like to do?
No sign of anyone being there.
Still, there's no sign of anyone being anywhere. If you all want to give me another listening check, or if you all want to just kind of proceed on.
Another listening. Oh no. Only 13. Not really good.
23.
Okay.
Nice.
That is 27.
Okay. Excellent. So really,
Oh, you're muted now.
am I muted?
I
So-
can hear you true.
It looks
Alice, I
like
think.
it looks like Zencaster did something. It looks like you're offline now.
Okay. Who? Can someone? Can you hear me? Alice?
I can hear you because we're in the same room. I cannot hear you because of the
I can hear
internet.
you faintly true, Alice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What has happened is Zencaster has stopped recording.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I was trying to eliminate the echo.
Unmute you in Discord and.
So let me do this to our watching audience. We're gonna take a quick break. Why don't we everyone take a 5? So if you have to go use a loo, you can go use a loo. Grab some water if you need, and then we'll be right back in 5 minutes. welcome back. Hopefully we are with 100% less echo, or at least 80% less echo. Got to fix those tech issues. All right, here we go. So the group has gone into the house, and they are right now, in essence, at a T intersection. As I had described, there is a room to the left. There is a room directly kind of to the right, like right there, and then the hallway extends to the right as well, about 25 feet. Arriety, I'm sorry. I think I asked for listening checks, right? I asked for listening checks. Okay. What do we got for listening checks?
I got a 13.
Mine was a 23.
27.
Ooh.
That's right. So in the game of Pathfinder, Second Edition, there is no actual. Let me walk that back. Unlike other games where when you roll a 20, that's considered a critical. It's actually levels of success. So when you roll 10 over whatever the difficulty rating of whatever test you're doing, that's actually considered a critical, and then it actually increases from there. So in this situation, both Arriety and unfortunately Trygve, you don't hear anything, but Arriety and Pocket Knife, you all can hear that it sounds like something or some. There is a noise coming from the right, further down the hallway. Pocket Knife, you got the higher roll, yes?
Yep.
Okay. You can make out that it does sound like something or someone is like rooting around of a room.
Yeah, I guess that leads on to a question I've been thinking this whole time I've been walking through the house. Does the house seem like someone has ramshackled through it? Like I got here before everyone else did, and then the orc KO'd me. Has the house been disturbed? I know it's a bit messy, but is there any sign of like people going through the house looking for something?
The initial room so you came in through, in essence, the front door, Pocket Knife. So the room, and you got caught off guard and knocked out very quickly before that. So what you have been able to see, and as you all have been walking through the house, at least this area does not look ramshackled. Again, it looks very scholarly, unkept. You know what I mean? Like your stereotypical like wizard, stacks of books and other nonsense all over the place. And as I described, all these things on the walls, but it doesn't look like at least this part of the house has been tossed. Now, having said that, the sound that you hear, Pocket Knife, it does kind of have that sound of someone rooting, someone searching, someone, like stuff being like moved hither and thither in a not nice fashion.
I think Pocket Knife points down the end of the corridor and smiles politely.
Trygve takes out, unclips a sickle from his belt, and just this time will try and stealth closer.
Okay.
Let me roll for that.
Yep. Arriety?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to stealth down the hallway towards the noise also.
Okay, so
it's 21 for me.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 9. So good at this.
Okay. So in this situation, I am going to consider this a group test. So, Arriety, like you begin to move, and you go. You feel like you're like caught your foot on something, like on the edge or something like that. But Pocket Knife is able to save to kind of like grab you, type situation before you fall. You know, because Pocket Knife and Trygve had rolled their stealth rolls and have rolled high stealth rolls. So as a group, you all are able to continue on. You feel that you're able to continue on stealthily. As you get to the end, so you pass that one door, as I said, which was directly like right there. You go down the length of this hallway. You do pass another door to your left, which is an actual door. At the end of the hallway turns to the right, and in here you find, or Trygve, I should say, you see a big room, and here you see that there's like a big desk in the middle of the room. The room is 15 by 25, 15 feet wide, 25 feet long. This actually looks like a library where there are actual like bookcases and whatnot. There is a table in the middle of the room, a long table with chairs, paperwork and whatnot. You do see that this room does actually look tossed, right? And in this room, in kind of like the northeast corner, there's an open archway, but there's an individual like in that northeast corner, and they are like ripping through stuff. They look like they have a satchel, and the satchel does appear to have like some stuff, like scrolls like sticking out of it and whatnot. The individual does appear to be like a darker greener skin with pointy ears. Their back is to you, but they do have a general makeup of the orc that you saw when you all first got here. What do
okay, so could be an orc then.
Have they noticed Arriety entering?
No.
A surprised look.
That's a relief.
Yeah. Oh god.
You could be wearing pots and pans and still be stealthier.
So they're basically looking through the place. I think Trygve would just step in and just be like, "Stop."
Okay. So before you step in and say stop, let's do this. Go ahead. Let's roll. Go ahead and roll initiative. And this is going to be, in essence, a surprise round. So the reason why I'm rolling initiative right now is just to kind of get a fair, like, who's going to do what type situation.
Initiative again. Was that just perception? It was something with that. I think it was perception.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
So in this game, hang on one second. Yes, so in this game, initiative is not just based on Dex. It is actually you can base it off of a few other things. Hang on, I'm looking for it right now. I thought I had it earmarked. Bear with me one moment. I'm sorry.
I know that I can roll stealth on my initiative if I want to be avoiding being detected. And I'm already hiding.
Like a feat?
You can just die in general, I believe. But it's...
Yeah,
I'm going off the pre-gen character sheet.
That's a roguey thing. Give me 1 second. I'm almost there.
It's the thing about this physical book. You can't just hit Control F.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Would be nice. On Google as well, real quick. Pathfinder initiative. I believe it was perception, from what I remember. It says the rules for initiative are page 468.
Yep. I just found that as you found that.
It does look like it's like perception.
Okay, so you roll initiative to determine your place in initiative order, which is a sequence in which the encounter's participants will take their turn. Typically, you roll perception check to determine your initiative. Sometimes the GM might call on you to roll some other type of check.
Stealth is if you want to, like what Callum said.
Right.
But I wasn't being stealthy. I just stepped in and said stop.
That is true. That is true.
We just found out that the person who rolled a 9 wasn't detected, and we were in perfect stealth. And Trygve's first thought is, I'm going to break concealment.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be right behind me. You could be around the corner hiding.
Oh, I'm like stood on the other side of the door, just like watching you go.
Yeah.
Either you can. So in this case, you can either use your perception as a modifier for the initiative roll, or you can use stealth as a modifier for the initiative roll. So go ahead, Arriety. What'd you roll?
23 for me.
Trygve?
15.
That was a 15?
14.
14. And pocket knife.
A dirty, nasty 20.
Dirty 20. Excellent. Okay. So, Arriety, you do see Trygve has started to make the move, and it's kind of like that situation. You see them breathing in as if they're gonna say stop, but because you either perceive them to do this, what would you like to do on this surprise round?
I'm not actually going to stop Trygve from doing that. I'm like, this could be the guy we're looking for.
Okay, cool.
Definitely where her brain is.
Fair. Would you like to prepare an action or anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right. Pocket knife.
Funny you should ask about pocket knife, because for my action, I'm going to ready a ranged knife attack in the event of the person talking to Trygve being hostile. So, like, if they do decide that they want to be hostile to Trygve, I've got my knife ready to throw at them.
Okay. All right. So then the trigger will be if they may take a hostile action. Your reaction will be to toss a knife at them.
Yep.
Very good. Okay. All right, Trygve, you're up.
Well, he was literally he's someone who likes to talk before fighting first, so that's the whole reason that they were trying to they just had stopped to try and see if this person is willing to talk. So definitely not attacking, just seeing what this person does, but in the same sort of vein as Pocket Knife is prepared to like do something if this person does turn out to be hostile.
Okay.
Which in that case I would. Let me quickly check. I would say the telekinetic projectile I would ready. So Trygve is looking around like as an item that he could potentially like pick up and flick towards this person if needed.
Okay. Excellent. So Trygve, everyone sets themselves up. That's the surprise round. Trygve, you step forward and you say stop. When you say stop, you see this individual, they freeze. They are kind of hunched over as if they were looking for something. They freeze, and they slowly stand up. As they slowly stand up, their hands go up in a non-threatening manner, and they slowly turn around, and you do see that this is another orc. Again, looking very much like the first orc that you knocked out, except this one, they're wearing like a loose type of Renaissance shirt type situation. It doesn't look like they actually have like leather armor on, if you will. Slowly turns around, and this orc sees you all and gives you a smile pops to their face, and they say, "Hello, friends. Welcome to house."
I immediately trust this individual.
Dude, like a trick for you would be like, "Who are you and what are you doing here?"
I am smart, man. Albert. I'm smart. This is my house. Come, let's sit and look at smart books. Ha 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 ha. And if you want to give me a what's the thing? To check if they're lying or not.
The Pathfinder edition of insight.
Yeah, like, if you want some sort of if you want to give some sort of sense motive roll or whatnot, go right ahead. But right now, this orc, it seems like you have found the professor.
The roll, sorry.
I'm sorry.
What was the roll? Sorry, because your audio cut out for me.
If you want to make any sort of like sense motive roll, or let me.
Oh, what would be good for that?
Let me go back to skills.
Could I just say like deception, but in the reverse way, where I try and figure out if this person is lying?
Yeah, I would accept that.
Oh, absolutely not. That was a natural 1. 4 or 5. Oh, this is the worst.
Anybody
else?
So funny.
So funny. Oh, I mean, sure, I'll use the same logic. I'm going to roll... Yeah, I'm going to roll deception, see if I can sense their motive.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a natural 20.
Okay. Gotta balance it, right?
And my deception is +3, so that's a 23 in total.
Okay. So and Arriety, you're choosing to believe the orc.
I am choosing not to roll because I'm choosing to believe the orc.
Okay. So Callum. Something's off about this individual.
Really?
You don't feel that they are telling the truth. But yeah, so this individual, he's still standing there. He's like, yes, come please sit. Smart papers on table will make very sense of things that make sense. Yes, yes.
This is quite amusing to Pocket Knife, but has not yet clocked on that everyone else believes this is actually the professor. But
Leaves it. I think they're more just unsure and not sure what to think and kind of confused.
so Pocket Knife reveals themselves. Knife is still like in the sleeve of their shirt. Oh, really? So you would be your name?
Oh, name. I have name. Name. I have name. Is smart. I am smart person. Albert. That is. This house is mine. You are trespassing in house, but I should.
See, I'm actually I'm here from the local authority to check up on the legal status of the house, and the name ownership I have here is not smart person Owlman. I've actually got I believe it's a Mikhail
So I will
Mikhail Albert.
So I will give you all this. You do see, as Callum and this individual are having this conversation, you do see the individual, the orc. We're gonna call him the orc. You see the orc take a sliding step towards the open archway. And the orc continues. Oh yes, that's his. You have correct name, Michael Albert. I am smart professor person. That this is house of mine. Please sit at table and eat papers that make of smarting.
I mean, after you.
The rest are at the orc.
Okay. Everyone give me a quick visual perception check.
Dirty 20.
It's a 22 for me.
26.
Wow, we crushed it.
Okay. So the situation is this. In this during this stint of conversation with Callum, the orc has tried to stealth again into to get to the open archway. Even though you all notice that he has again taken another step to the right, and that is now in the archway. You all did see that it tried to stealth, and you are getting the feeling that they are trying to leave the room. So we are gonna drop back into initiative. Arriety, having seen the conversation that's been going on and seeing the way that the orc has been acting, what would you like to do?
Trying to see. Okay. So I would be, would like to lead him to the spot to sit down at the table.
Okay, so you want to walk over to the orc?
So I'm going to walk over to him.
Okay. So you walk over to the orc, and it would take your movement. That's again in Pathfinder you have it's an action based economy, so you do have 3 actions. We will your first action will be the move towards the orc. The orc, as you move towards the orc, as you move towards the orc, you see that the orc loses its cool and its body posturing looks as if it's going to try to make a run for it. So that you still have 2 actions. What would you like to try to do?
I just want to get in his way. I don't want him to run away, but I don't necessarily want to attack him either.
Okay. So then let's go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is there like something nearby that I could maybe just make as an obstacle as in addition to myself?
I mean, there are numerous things. There's like there's chairs that you can like either grab and drag with you, or you can try to toss in the way. But if I would allow with your remaining 2 actions, if you want to interpose yourself and then do like a prepared action type situation. If he tries to run, then you try to like grab him or block or further block his exit out of the room.
Okay, sure. So I'll just kind of move myself between him and the exit and prepare to grab him should he try to run.
Excellent. Okay. So Arriety starts moving towards the orc. Again, this is all happening like, quick. Arriety starts moving towards the orc. The orc, seeing Arriety moving towards him, his body posturing starts to change and look like it's gonna bolt out the door. Arriety is fast enough to interpose themselves and has that action readied. Pocket knife. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I think for the bit, they're keeping up the whole deception that they are a member of the local authority here to check out the building. So they're going to keep the conversation going. Well, I'm glad that we've established your correct name. I was, as a matter of checking your identity, I'm going to need to ask you some questions. So, what can you tell me about... let me double check I got the name right of this event. I was wondering what you could tell me about The Flash.
Okay. So let's do the and are you putting all of your efforts into trying to keep this conversation going, try to keep this deception going?
I think if I was to give it an amount of actions, I would say 2 actions to try and keep this conversation going,
Okay.
and then with another action, prepare my knife still to throw it if they make a move that I don't like.
Okay. So then, we're gonna do this. I want you to give me a deception roll. I'm gonna give you a situational additional bonus of +2, since you're utilizing 2 actions to try to keep this individual engaged. So go ahead and give me the roll.
Yeah, let me. So that is a 17 in total.
Yeah. My game mastering dice are being game master dice right now. Okay. He doesn't make any aggressive movements, so that does not kick off your held attack. But we will see what his reaction is to your deception roll as soon as we see what Trygve wants to do. Trygve, what do you want to do?
I guess also kind of waiting to see what this orc is doing. However, is going to let's see if this is it like the thing that he's going for. Is it like is an arch, or is it like does it have an actual door?
It's just like a standard open archway, kind of like what's behind me.
Okay.
It does look like it. The open archway does go into another room or hallway or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Same as before. Is just picking an object in a room that they could hurl towards this orc if needed. But otherwise, is going to let Pocket Knife have a go at trying to talk. Yeah, so I'm just keeping an action ready to go off if the orc becomes hostile.
Okay, so the orc, it is the orc's turn, and their body posture, it goes from like this tensed, like it looks like he's gonna run type thing, to he makes eye contact with you, Callum. And again, this smile comes to his face. And he's like, yes, I show you the smart papers. I show smart papers, and we all are going to be smart about the smart things. To which his body posture changes, and the orc, with their one action, moves to the table. Their second action, they take the satchel off, and then their final action is they kind of like they dump all the scrolls that they have in their bag on the table, and then
were you packing to go on a trip?
So hold that question. Arriety, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna stay where I am. You know, I'm now suspicious of the orc instead of entirely trusting this guy. But you know, he seems harmless right now. Like I figure maybe we can get some answers out of him. So I'm just gonna stay where I am, just kind of occluding the exit, right? Just not entirely blocking it, but standing in, you know. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Okay. Pocket knife. What? So you asked the question. Are you packing?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep bullshitting this person. This is my whole bit.
Okay.
Is that I found something that I find quite amusing. I got knocked out today. It was kind of a bit of a blow to my ego, but this is funny, so I'm going to keep going. Were you packing to go on a trip somewhere with all these papers?
Okay. And Trygve, your turn. What would you like to do?
My idea was also to kind of sort of block the archway, but seeing that Arriety goes there, is there the one that we came from, and then the one that he was supposed to go at, or was it two different ones, or one different one?
So you came through a doorway that was, let's call it the southwest corner of the room. He's trying to exit through the archway, which is in the north.
Okay.
Close to the northeast corner of the room.
I guess then, Arriety being in the one, I'll go back to the other, but like sort of be very calm, like not like actively looking like I'm blocking it. It's just like, I guess, just calmly working towards it, and maybe like looking back to like make it seem like, you know, I just stand there.
Okay. So now to clarify, we have Arriety and Trygve both blocking the same doorway.
No, different ones.
Different
So
ones.
Arriety is
Okay.
so both the different ones. I think Arriety is the archway, and I'm doing the door we came
Yes.
through.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. All right. So it's the orc's turn. The orc looks at you, Callum, blinks, smiles, and then turns and tries to and turns towards the door that Arriety is blocking. And this this orc is actually going to try to dive. Arriety, you're a small person, right? Okay, so this orc is actually going to try to jump over you. All right, so that this will trigger your attempt to stop it.
Yeah.
He is jumping. How would you like to try to stop him? Do you want to jump and catch him? Do you want to punch him? How are we doing this whole situation?
Okay, let's see. Sure. He's trying to jump over me, right? I think I'm gonna try to just grab at his ankles. Just to trip him.
Okay. Then I am gonna need a we're gonna treat this as one of your punch attacks, one of your strike attacks. But instead of actually punching him, you're just grabbing his ankle.
Sure.
Is he diving horizontally, or is he just jumping, hopping over? Because if he's jumping horizontally, you could just jump up, grab his head, and bring him down to the ground.
No,
that's true. I was imagining that he was jumping over me instead of diving. So
this orc was just a quick backstory. He was part of his high school track team. So he's trying to hurdle over you, Arriety.
All right. So here we go. Oh, 10.
So believe it or not, you actually get your hand up enough and grab onto his ankle.
Get out of here.
No.
Okay.
And because this is in this situation, this was opposing skill checks, and orc track team is not the most skilled track team. So you grab his ankle, and he falls. And he falls. So this does come back up to the top of initiative. Arriety, it is your turn. You do have this orc by his ankle. He hasn't made any aggressive movements, but he is trying to. You also do see now, really quick, this open archway leads into, in essence, what appears to be like a mudroom, and there is a doorway about 10 feet across from where the open archway is, and this orc is trying to get to that doorway. You can see he's doing the scratches, what would you like to do?
Don't want to hurt him. He seems to be just as anxious as I am, really. I just want some answers, buddy. Do you know where he actually is? Why were you pretending to be him? What's going on? But also, so I guess I'm just asking those questions to him. And then, should he try to continue to grapple out or take an aggressive action? Oh, do I have to pick one? Then I would punch him.
So yeah, in terms of triggered actions, you do have to give me like an exact trigger to what would trigger your reaction. If you want to do another held action type situation.
Well, I want to just keep him where he is.
Okay, so let's do this. Why don't you give me a either a strength or an acrobatics check, and let's just say you're trying to tie his legs up because he's actively trying to escape. He's trying to
Okay.
get out the door.
Sure.
This much is no.
Sure. Okay. Oh, that's a 1. I could technically re-roll it because I'm a halfling. Because I'm a lucky halfling, but I only get to do that once a day. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to re-roll it. That's much better. Wait. Okay.
That's just a 1 upside down.
No, I did much better. So that's going to be a 22.
Okay. Yeah. So the orc tries to, do like the thing. Doesn't try to kick you. He tries to not kick you, but kick you off type situation. And you just kind of really tie up his legs. So you have his legs pretty good.
I am desperately seeking my center, right? So taking a deep breath, and for a very small moment I succeed. I become a rock and I'm just sitting on his legs.
Excellent. Pocket knife, what do you do? So the situation is this. The orc tried to hurtle over Arriety. Arriety was just like, nope. And grabbed his ankle. And then the orc from what you can see, it looks... The orc is, in essence, face down, trying to crawl to this other doorway. And Arriety has just wrapped his legs up and just... And
so in a Boston leg crab, basically.
Almost. Yep. So
cool.
The orc is still trying to is doing that crawling, trying to crawl towards the door type situation, but he's not moving.
Cool. Very calmly, almost horrifically so. She's going to walk over, round the front of the poor orc, pulls out the rapier, and just places it against his neck.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an intimidation roll.
Absolutely.
Are you? So just to clarify, are you trying to intimidate or are you trying to...
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That is a 15.
All right. So we will see how the orc reacts to that when it's his turn.
Can I just say what I was saying as I did it?
Yes.
This could have been a lot more fun if we'd just gone along with the fake interrogation. And now I'm going to have to fake a different kind of fun. So, you can keep struggling, and this rapier will, unfortunately, reach back. Unless you tell me what I want to know.
Okay.
Arriety is so stressed out.
Okay, so it is Trygve's turn. Trygve, you saw the orc try to hurdle over Arriety. You saw Arriety grab the ankles, wrap the legs up, and then you saw Callum walk over. And this scene is half happening in the room that you're currently in, half happening in this other room.
Yeah.
So you did see Callum kind of go into that other room, and you don't see from where you are, you don't see the rapier intimidation, but you hear that line delivery. You did
Yeah.
also see that the orc did like dump the contents of their satchel onto the table before they disappeared. So,
Yeah, I think hearing that, Trygve sort of walks over back to the table, and I think from the table you can see into the doorway, right? Yeah, so they see that, and would you kind of add to the threat that Pocket Knife did and use message to cast? So they'll be speaking quietly, but the orc will hear directly in his ear, and will say, "Running would be unwise. Cooperate, and we might spare your life. You might live to see another day." And but then leaves it sort of at that and goes to look at the contents on the table to see what exactly he was stealing.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a perception search, or like an perception investigation type roll.
Okay.
And the orc, as the rapier comes to the orc's neck, and as it gets the message in its head, the orc just it was struggling. Now he just kind of like sprawls out on the floor, right, and just puts his head. He's like, "Oh, I'm not smart, man. I'm sorry. Please take sword away from neck, and please get out of my head."
Unfortunately for you, when somebody sees me, I never leave their mind, really. Now, you're not Mr. Smartman, but you are going through his stuff, which means you knew he wasn't here. So, where are they?
So the orc, he again, he's like he's belly down and his head's up, kind of like this type of situation, so he kind of like cranes his neck to like look at you, and then you see his eye look to the door that he was trying to get to, and he looks back at you and he says, "Outside in the fire pit."
He was your lunch?
Well, I not eat human person, icky meat. No, but we were paid to make him not alive anymore, so he's dead.
Okay, well, that honestly is the worst news I've heard all day, and I got knocked out by your friend. So, who paid you?
Again, this orc, his eyes go to you, and you actually, you see a bit of fear come across his face, and he starts to hem and haw a little bit, but with all the intimidation going on, he opens his mouth to answer you. Just really quick, Arriety, are you doing? We're out of initiative, as it were. But Arriety, are you doing anything?
No, there's been so much stress in the past 30 seconds. She went from being like a little uncomfortable to like, oh my, horrified by Pocket Knife. I'm like so intimidated. But she's still sitting on his legs, like kind of frozen there, I think. Like, oh my god. Like, okay, so Pocket Knife is terrifying, but then also this orc totally just killed this guy and turned him into a lunch. I don't know what to do right now. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just sitting. That's it. I'm just frozen, sitting. That's what's happening right now.
Okay. And then Trygve. So you're going through the scrolls and everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
I had. So do I get I don't have an investigate skill, but do I? So I use the perception, but do I still get a penalty for for a visual based, or is it not the case in this?
So it is a visual based, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you are looking.
Yeah, that
through
makes
the
sense.
scrolls and
Yeah, I was
whatnot.
thinking. So that would be 16.
Okay, this is good enough. That's good enough though. So as you start going through the scrolls, the first thing that you notice about these scrolls is that, they remember how I had said earlier, that as you were walking on the walls, there were like rubbings and other like illustrations and whatnot, like plastered, hanging on the wall. So the scrolls that you saw sticking out of his satchel appear to be some of these rubbings and etchings and whatnot, or rubbings and you know blueprints, if you will, big papers that were hanging up on the wall. As you unroll these papers, you do see that there are smaller papers within the big papers, and these smaller papers, they actually look as if they've been torn, as if torn from a book, type situation. With your 16, I will allow you, as you're looking at everything, some things are some things are kind of like, at first you're like what, but as you like unroll and you kind of like reading things, it seems like there's a slow picture kind of like forming in your mind. So in this situation, I will allow you either to roll Arcana or Occultism.
We're the same for me. So
is that you?
That is a 21.
21. Okay. So, as you unroll everything and like you find the papers and you read the papers, you're able to see that the etchings and the wall the wall sized hanging drawings and whatnot, they are a map. They are archaeological maps, and actually what appear to be occult type maps, of the area. And
like occult or a cult?
Occult. OCCULT.
Occult. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Occult. And it actually, it appears like it appears as if this house was built on top of some sort of uh, temple or something like that, because as you're looking at everything and the way like everything lies on all the different papers, and then as you read like really quick some of the papers, which do the papers that were ripped out of a book, they do appear to be handwritten and appear to be diary-esque.
Okay.
You do, there's a lot of big words, but it appears to be that these are all research notes regarding the Flash, which is what you ascertain is the scholarly title of what happened when these new continents appeared on Galarian. Everything appears to lead to a spot behind the house just off the cliff.
And would I ascertain that maybe that is what I might have felt with the detect magic, or is that too?
So the detect magic was that's something completely
Okay, something different.
Something
Okay.
completely different.
Behind the house cliff.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And to you, again with your roll, the only thing that you remember that was behind the house was that gazebo. Let's go to Callum. So Callum, Trygve is at the table, and you see that they're really looking at these scrolls and whatnot, and you know they're reading and involved in this. Callum, what would you like to do?
Did our orc friend tell us who hired him?
Okay. So the orc. So again, you see their face go. It kind of like goes through this myriad of emotions. It bites his bottom lip as if it's trying to maybe not say anything, you know. But then finally, he looks up at you, and with what you perceive is fear, he says to you, "Snake people."
Okay. Well, I think I know what's happened here. Just before I let you go, because I am a very forgiving, merciful person, you didn't happen to attempt to steal or destroy Smart Man's diary at all, did you?
And he diary's in the corner. I ripped pages from it.
Wow. Thank you very much. You best get off and enjoy the fruits of your labor, I'm sure. Killing this man has brought you great wealth.
Okay. Arriety, what would you like to do?
Well, it seems like we're gonna let him go, so we're gonna get off his legs, and kind of like back away. I'm gonna see if I can find the diary, I guess.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a search perception roll. And
I was also looking, sorry, at like the halfling stuff for Pathfinder. When I'm specifically looking for something or seeking because I have like keen eyesight, I get a +2 to my perception. So I'm gonna look for that diary, and I think I get that +2 circumstantial bonus or whatever.
Okay. And as you let go of the orc's legs, the orc just scrambles itself up. It runs to that door that it was trying to get to. It swings it open. The door does open to the outside, to the back, to behind of the house, and the orc runs and he's like, "Thank you!" and just.
You might not want to forget your friend unconscious in the front room.
He's gone. The orc is just gone. He's just gone.
Whatever happened to honor among thieves?
And as the orc disappears ominously through the doorway, you see the gazebo almost perfectly lined up through the door, and then just maybe 15 feet from the gazebo, the edge of the cliff and the waves. You hear the waves crashing and the rain falls. And here we're going to take a 5-minute break. So if you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. If you have to, want to go get a drink, go get some snacks, whatnot. And when we come back, we will we will see what the crew uncovers. We'll be back.
Look, these ominous waves come right after I watched a very spooky Lake month
That's right.
about some crashing waves in
I've seen
Ireland.
the TikTok.
surprise. I forgot to ask everyone if they were ready. I'm so sorry. I'm like, my brain's locked. Anyway, so where we left the situation, the Arriety has let go of this orc that they found pilfering the professor's library, and the orc has run off. Callum had yelled back to the orc to don't forget about his friend, but the orc just DD-mowed straight out. And Trygve has been finding some interesting things. So and again, the door is wide open with this gazebo almost framed perfectly in the doorway. A torrential downpour is happening currently outside, which at this point now that like all the adrenaline of meeting the orc has subsided, this downpour is so heavy that you can it almost sounds like ping pong balls bouncing off the roof and off the structure of the house. It is coming down so heavy. It is difficult to see the cliff, the edge of the cliff. However, for whatever reason, this gazebo just ominously is like illuminated, silhouetted, if you will, sticking out from the rain. So let's start with Arriety. Arriety, you let the orc go. So what would you like to do now?
I did say I was looking for the diary.
That is correct. That is correct. I do apologize about that. So Arriety moves into the room to start looking for the diary. Callum.
Okay, so I also want the diary, but for my own personal reasons. So I'm going to have to try and either find it first or find a way to take it once it has been found. So step one in my plan is I'm going to make a distraction. So I look out the door and I am going to... My friends, I fear that storm. It could be turning into what looks like a thunderstorm, or even worse, a tornado. Could I roll a deception check against the rest of the party to convince them there's a tornado outside?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I'll go roll stamps before the deception. Okay.
Okay. So 22.
Oh, I got a no. Hang on.
And what is that? A perception, I guess, to see if we don't believe him or whatever.
Yes. So I. Yes, it would be. So it would be an opposing. What your deception is based off of charisma, I think.
Yes, it is.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So there we go. So this would be opposing charisma checks. So if you also have deception, you can oppose with a deception. If you have,
it doesn't matter. I rolled a 2.
I got a 21, so I just under the 22. But I also think Trygve is less interested in a diary because I mean, well, they were looking. There were pages of the diary in the thing that they were looking at, right? So I feel like because they need either the guide or the diary, or otherwise, if they can't find either, proof that they've been there. Right. So Trygve would have pocketed a couple of the pages that were on the table and just, let them figure it out.
Hey, listen, they didn't ask for the complete diary. They just
exactly. The diary.
True.
Just pocket a few pages.
Okay, so then let's see how this plays out. Arriety, how do you react to Callum and his distraction?
Well, I 100% believe that there's a tornado. Yeah, for sure. But I'm like, oh my god, does this place have a basement? Like, what are we supposed to do? I'm gonna look for a basement.
Okay. Trygve, what? Before that, though, just because Arriety did say that they were searching for the diary, I am going to allow them that Arriety does see a diary-esque book sitting in a corner, kind of. It does stand out from all the other books. It does look very diary-esque, and Arriety was going towards that book, but that's when Callum, oh look, there's a tornado. With that information, would Arriety, before Arriety looks for a basement, would they want to try to collect the diary, or do they want to stop and just like, oh shit, tornado, basement?
Are you asking me? I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Okay. I mean, yeah, right? Like, if I saw the diary, or if I saw the book, right, and then there's a tornado, right, this whole place could be demolished by a tornado, so we gotta grab the diary and then look for a basement.
Okay, so then Arriety does grab the diary and then starts looking for a basement. So Callum, you do see that Arriety does grab a diary-esque looking.
Great.
Thing.
I'm gonna take Arriety by the arms. I'm gonna go. Okay, you don't need to panic. I'm gonna take a deep breath in, a deep breath out.
I'm absolutely panicking.
A deep breath out. I'm gonna try and calm down, and then I'm gonna steal the book from them.
So before you attempt to steal, Trygve, how do you react to Callum's decision?
So, yes, I guess because I rolled very close, because I think Pocket Knife had a 22 and I had a 21. So I will say that I don't believe the tornado, but I do believe that there might be a thunderstorm coming and that it's something like that. However, because Trygve already pocketed the pages of the diary, which is, I guess, to them like, okay, I have evidence that we've been here, and their diary pages, is more interested in the gazebo, and just sort of like looks at what's happening and is like, okay, and would go and I guess go towards the gazebo, try and check it out. Would once again send out the shadow, like detect magic, to just like figure out if it gives off anything at all. But would absolutely just let these two figure that out amongst themselves, and investigate the gazebo.
Okay. So Callum, let's go ahead and make a sleight of hand to.
I have thievery, which is a +7, but also I have subtle thief. Others take a -2 perception to their DC when you steal. If you create a diversion, you can steal something before the end of your turn without being seen by a creature you diverted.
Okay. So in this situation, just to set the difficulty, Arriety, what I want you to do is I want you to roll me a strength check. Okay. So this strength check is how hard you're holding on to the book, right? And that is gonna that check that you roll is going to be what Callum needs to beat to try to sleight of hand the diary away from you?
I think I would just give it to him. Like, I don't think she's holding on to it very tight, right? She is absolutely panicking about the tornado, right? He is taking the book. She has no reason to distrust him and would not perceive this as stealing. He thinks it's stealing for sure. Totally. Yeah, he is taking the book for himself, but I'm not sure I would. I mean, I'll roll the stealth or strength, but yeah, I don't think she would perceive this as being like a negative thing here.
Okay, then there won't be a need to roll the strength.
But I rolled a nat 20.
Fuck my life. Wow. I put so much work into this.
Okay, so
What's the total of a nat 20?
I'm adding my strength, right? So it's a 22.
Okay, so
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
Come on.
Yeah, I made that. 18 plus 7,
That's yours. The book is yours.
25.
Wait, let's role play this out. So, Callum.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
in the anxiety, right? I'm clutching this book. The tornado is coming.
Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at me. I am here to help you get through this. You just need to relax the muscles of your body, and we're going to make it through this together. These kind of houses are built to withstand the kind of weather that is possible in the region. You know?
Okay, so I don't need to find a basement.
So I think we are at this moment safe. In fact, if you look out, I think it's clearing up a little bit. And as I point to like
I'm gonna look.
the same sky that
Yeah.
there was clearly never a tornado, but
But I wasn't looking outside. I was
you
taking
were looking
your word
outside
for it.
before, so you didn't put those things there. Like I think I can see it's lighting up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like as I
Oh yeah.
point you towards it, I kind of just slip the book out of your hand and into my pocket.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Totally.
So
You did so well.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
So Pocket Knife gets the diary. Trygve, you cast your detect magic and it goes out. Mechanically, the detect magic does ping off of the gazebo. Thematically, however, the detect magic, so your shadow goes out and the ping that comes back to you, your head is almost rocked by the searing headache that, oh yeah, it's not only magic, but it's like there's like a powerful magic that's on that gazebo. What would you all like to do?
Ooh, is this headache something that was just like because they got the ping back, or is it like staying as I get closer, for example?
So no, it was just like a thematic type situation, and almost like when you have headphones on and you get like feedback type situation. Okay. But you definitely know that yes, that is magic. That there's magic.
Can I just
it's like a spider sense?
Yeah. Can I like just look closer and try and is there like, are there like any like sigils or glyphs or whatever on the thing, or like anything that stands out to me as this, like, so, is it like that? I'm trying to, I guess, determine if this was like, if it comes from the places in, or if someone has made this into like a magical thing, like a powerful thing.
So the detect magic is a very it's just a very general
no, I'm just trying to look for like
so
any.
Give me, in this situation, you can either give me like a perception looking or a perception arcana, because you do know that it's magical, so you are trying to find.
Ooh, that's very bad. No, that's just an 8.
Okay, so the general you do get the general look of the gazebo. So as I had described earlier, the gazebo is made of stone. It has 5 stone pillars going around the radius that the stone pillars hold up the top of the gazebo. The top of the gazebo looks almost like bell shaped, with almost like a knob at the top. You do see that the gazebo, it does, it's flush with the ground. So it's not, you know how most gazebos you kind of have to like step up into the gazebo. This gazebo is flush with the ground. There's like no step up. You just walk. And it does appear to be that the flooring of the gazebo, again, it appears to be a circle, and it's made. It all appears to be made of stone, which also is kind of odd.
Right. He's gonna do something that's maybe not smart. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna set one foot inside
Okay.
and just see if what happens.
So you do have to step out of the house. And
Yeah. I'm going.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Put a hood up as I go inside. Put my hood up so for the rain and stuff like that.
Okay. So Arriety and Callum, you all do notice that Trygve has headed outside. What do you all want to do? Callum, let's start with you.
Well, I'm kind of done here, really. I've achieved my objective. I found out the man was dead. I've got his diary. I mean, I can just go home and get my paycheck, or the rest of my paycheck, because someone has absconded with the first half of my paycheck. But this has been very entertaining, so I might as well see it through to the end. So watches Trygve go towards the ominous gazebo with curiosity and like, well, this will be fun. So kind of follows Trygve out to look at the gazebo. Yeah, I don't think I say anything. I just follow and like watch to see what happens if Trygve enters it, if something wild happens.
Okay, Arriety, what would you like to do? You have seen, so Trygve has walked out of the house, and Callum has walked out of the house as well.
She is not gathered yet. So Arriety is going to sort of stand in the doorway and just kind of watch, and breathe, and try to bring to that brief moment of center that she found earlier. She's like, where is it? I'm going to find it. Oh my gosh. So she's just going to stand and watch.
Pocket Knife turns back and goes, "You're doing really well."
So appreciated.
Okay. So Trygve, you are the first one. You walk into the gazebo. The gazebo is large enough that it looks like it can hold 3 normal-sized humans, right? Now that you're closer, you see that the base that is in, as I said, is flush to the ground. It actually looks like there is. It doesn't look like it's made of one piece of stone. It does look like it is a bunch of stones that are, worked together. You get to the gazebo, and as you look around on the columns and and up in the actual ceiling of this belled roof ceiling, I should say, you do see that there's there does appear to be like carvings, and they do appear to be like an old elfish
Okay, I can read
carving.
Elvish.
Oh yeah, languages. Jeez.
However, on the floor, you see there's a different type of carving, and this carving, you don't, unless you can speak unless you can speak what languages can you speak?
Common, Elfin, Shadow Tongue, Sylvan, and Undercommon.
Okay, so yeah, so the stuff that's carved on the floor of the gazebo, you don't understand at all.
Okay.
However, you do recognize those carvings because in those pages that you nicked, you did see like rubbings and like, you know, diary notes and that type of stuff.
Yeah, I'll take out the pages and look and compare.
Okay. So as you do that, Callum, what did you want to do? So you have also stepped.
I'm just watching. I'm just kind of. Does this garden have a bench?
No. So this gazebo does not. There's no bench. It just, again.
What a rubbish gazebo!
Right.
What's the point of it?
Exactly.
This is just unfinished. Does it have like walls between the pillars? Could I sit on a wall, or is it like?
No, it's just pillars. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just watch. I think seeing that our halfling friend is still kind of panicking and trying to find calm, decides it would be funny to tell a joke to them. So kind of walks up and goes, "Listen, if you want to find focus, just look at my abs, okay, and focus on them, and imagine you as the chiseled form that you see before you."
Arriety?
I think this is so confusing and just outlandish to her that she's immediately grounded and like just kind of like, because she's now thinking about that and it's like,
so whenever you get lost or need to focus, just imagine me in your mind, however you like.
I thought it was supposed to be a candle flame or something like that.
Well, I think I'm hotter, personally.
That's funny.
So
It's so bad. Oh.
Listen, I came in as a one-shot character. I'm going to leave this game with an impact being made. Pocket Knife has come here to be short and sweet.
So Pocket Knife, so just to clarify, so you have moved back to the house and are talking
Well,
to...
like the doorway where I imagine that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, yeah, I've turned my back on the magic nonsense. Like, sure, they're another elf, and like we could like connect over the fact that like we're both elves, we're gonna live forever, and everyone that we know dies. We're meant to know all this stuff, but I never bothered with any of the magic nonsense.
Got it.
I'm here for the bit. I've done my job, so I'm paying attention to the small halfling having an anxiety attack, and thought that what's the best way of dealing with that? Making someone else think about me, because everyone should.
So Arriety, are you doing anything else other than try not to pee your pants laughing at Callum?
I'm not sure she's laughing that hard. I am. Yeah. But yeah, no. So she definitely is laughing. And and then so that's definitely helpful. So she'll look at pocket knife and you're like, "Ah, thank you. That was very nice of you."
I never did get your names.
Oh, I'm Arriety.
Arriety? Pleasure. Pocket knife.
Nice to meet you, pocket knife.
Like puts a hand out and then kisses your hand.
Oh, unexpected. Was definitely going for the handshake, and then
And your companion?
Trygve. They're yeah, we came over here on the same boat, and we're staying at the same place, and we're on the same adventure
Adventure.
to get money, I think. Yeah, there was a job posting. Yeah, that's why
Who
we're here.
hired you?
I know.
So let's. I will.
Was
I'll
that-
give
was that-
Arriety of- Yeah, go ahead, Trygve.
Was that Claudia Pickett?
Yes, Mistress Claudia Pickett from the.
That was. I just put my notes away again. The Newland Society.
From the Newland Society.
I make notes sometimes.
Does this name spark joy? Is this who hired me, or is this society the same people who hired me, or am I like, no, the people who hired me are a lot more suspicious individuals?
So, yes, you too were hired by the Newland Society. No, you were hired by a person that just identified themselves as Mr. Teach. And when you got hired, it was like right off the boat type situation. You had been on the boat for like 2 weeks. The boat passing was horrendous, and you kind of you got to Boricobos and not really thinking past surviving the boat trip, so when
there's only so many people you can flirt with on a boat for 2 weeks,
right. Yeah, so when they caught you coming off the boat, it was you. I don't want to say off of desperation, but you just you like jumped at the yes, I will. You have money, give me money type situation.
Why not?
Right. So Trygve, did you want to decipher the Elvish language first, or did you want to do the diary pages first?
I guess first the Elvish language, then.
All right. So the Elvish is very, very. You can tell. Actually, give me a straight intelligence check.
That is a 17.
Okay, so you can tell that this Elvish, or this dialect of Elvish, I should say, is very, very, very old. We're talking.
Very what? Sorry.
Very old. Very old. Okay. It's kind of like the difference between the English we speak now and Shakespeare English.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And as you read, you see that everything that is carved repeats the same. It says in essence the same thing. And it goes from the bottom up. And again, much like Shakespeare English, it's very verbose and very, it takes 5 miles to get to the point type thing.
Yeah.
And finally, what you find is that this is a warning.
Okay. Oh, fun.
And it's a warning to not open this to not open or to not open the temple.
Okay.
And with your previous arcana with your check, just as you kind of sit there and are reading everything, you realize that the Elvish, and the reason why it's so verbose, was actually an enchantment spell that was carved into the gazebo. But someone had chipped away at one of the stanzas that was carved on one of the columns, and that whatever enchantment should have been invoked has not been invoked. And you feel that the reason why is because that stanza was chipped on the column. And then and now you're faced with the floor, which is completely different, a completely different dialect. You can't really tell. You see on the floor the only things that you can make out are carvings that do look like snake. You also see some other carvings that, for all intents and purposes, look like blobs with squiggly legs. You do see some other squiggly lines that you think mean water. But you do see, as you look at the diary pages and as you look at the floor, you do see that there are two very specific reliefs right next to each other that are of coiled snakes. And on the floor, you see that that one relief is pointing to the other relief, but the other relief is kind of like twisted. And then on the diary page, you see that the two reliefs should be facing each other.
Okay. Right. Well, considering there's a warning, I don't think Trygve's gonna mess with that, but would instead maybe wait until Lazarus and Sinisa are back, and also like to discuss with everyone what to do. But they release they're on the floor. They're different from the note, but they're supposed to be facing each other, and they're not currently. Is that what I'm understanding? Or
yes.
Okay. And does it look like in any way, not that he's gonna do that, but does it look like in any way you can like turn something?
So when you look at the notes in the journal on the page, you do see that there are little like indications and whatnot that you should be able to put your hand on one of the reliefs and turn it.
Right.
However, the reliefs, they have a lot of just nature on top of them. It's raining heavily. You are on the side of cliffs, so there's just a lot of like schmutz, for lack of a better term, on the floor. So you can't readily, without the diary page, you wouldn't be able to readily tell that the one relief can be turned.
Yeah. I guess Trygve just looks at it for a second and sort of takes that in, and then we just step out and put the pages back and go back inside, and I guess looks at Arriety and go like, we should probably wait for the others. I think
Find
I
anything
found
good in there?
Why don't you go and investigate yourself? You have the diary, don't you? Because I don't see Arriety holding it.
Oh, no. I'm not holding it.
Well, your friend was panicking. So, we didn't want to lose the diary, did we?
Right, you can have the diary. I don't really care.
Well, can I do a quick look around the gazebo and see if I notice those snakes?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's an 18 plus my perception, which is a 7.
Okay. So yeah, you are also able to see all the things that I described to Trygve. I will also give you that you are able to tell that the language that is on the columns is Elvish. It is an old type of Elvish. You do see on the ground what I described, all the different reliefs and whatnot. You do see the two snakes, the one snake that is facing the other snake, and the other snake that looks like it's turned away. But as I had described, just because of nature nonsense, you can't tell if you're supposed to turn it or whatever. Or I should say,
I'm going to try and steal it.
Oh, okay. All right. So you...
Snake?
Oh, these snakes look cool. I'll take one of these. And I don't know if I try and twist it off, but...
Okay.
Oh,
So you reach down to the one... which snake do you try to steal first?
Well, the one that's facing the other way seems like it could be dislodged. So it seems like the easiest one to take out. So if I twisted it to take it off, it'd be fine.
Okay. So you start to fitz around with this relief, and in your fitzing, you manipulate this relief, and it actually, I mean, you do hear like some sediment sliding, but it does, and you hear a very sharp as it turns and faces the other snake. So you have two snakes facing each other, and as it does that, you feel you feel the floor kind of like shudder. Can I have a dexterity saving throw from you?
I will also say, hearing that grating, Trygve whips their head and you fool! It just goes back outside to try and help in any way.
Okay.
Is that a reflex?
Reflex. I do apologize. Yes, a reflex saving.
Yeah, that's a 22.
All right. So you are able to feel that the inner circle of the gazebo is starting to slowly descend. But with your reflex saving throw, you are able to jump off if you so wish to. How would you like to?
Oh, I'm writing it down.
Okay. All right.
Oh my god.
Trygve and Arriety, you see Callum. He was kind of on his knees, and you see, you see the inner portion of the gazebo start to slowly descend, and Callum just waves to you as it descends down. At first, the descent is very, very slow, and then it just all of a sudden just whoosh, almost as if it drops down. Kind of like in the action movies when the elevator cables get cut. It just again, with your dexterity saving throw, with your reflex save, I should say, you are able to, in essence, surf it out. until finally, like right before, you feel this you feel that this thing that you're standing on, all of a sudden like starts to slow down again and just like slowly descends. And as it slowly descends, you descend into this room that's made of stone, um, and the it's 15 feet wide by 20 feet long in a rectangular shape. This room, and it looks. Give me a crafting check real quick. Arriety, and just hold on to your roll when you roll that. Trygve and Arriety.
Sorry, your mic's cutting out. What am I rolling?
Crafting. Give me a crafting roll.
And
Ooh.
for us, what was it?
So then, and just hold on to your roll, Callum. Arriety, what do you do?
This day has been so scary. Okay, for her. I think she's gonna like rush up to the edge and just kind of like peek, like look down. Like, what is going on?
Okay, and then Trygve.
Did you know it was gonna do that?
Trygve, what do you do?
Trygve would also like see that going down and then just go to the edge and look in. I don't know, and just shout like, "Are you okay?"
All right, so the two of you go to the edge, and again, just to clarify, it was just the inner floor of the gazebo that descended. The pillars and the roof are still standing.
Okay.
And as a side note, the storm is passing. And the rain has slowed down. The sun is starting to kind of come out, and the humidity is really kicking up. The two of you look down into this, for all intents and purposes, a hole, and it is Arriety, do you have dark vision?
No, I was looking that up, and I do not think so.
Okay, Trygve, what's the range of your dark vision?
I don't know what it mentions. Hang on, position. Doesn't say. I think on here.
Okay, I'm gonna just call it 60 feet because that's
usually
like
it's
the normal,
yeah.
You know. So with your dark vision, you see 60 feet down, and past 60 feet, the hole just keeps going.
Yeah. But would they be able to hear what I shouted down though?
So then Callum, you finally this floor it stops, and you're in this room, and after a moment you do hear echoing down at you from the top of the hole that you just came from, Trygve and Arriety's communications, yellings. What, Callum, would you like to respond back to them?
On a bad day, I'm a 9. So right now, I'm 11.
You do hear this echo up.
Yeah.
Up the...
There would be like, do you not know how to read? There is a warning on the ceiling.
I'm gonna turn to Trygve and go, do you know what they mean? What does that mean?
Some bullshit. They just don't. If they were in pain, they would have told us so. If they were okay, if we get a response, it means they're usually fine.
Okay.
It's like brushing themselves off a little bit on the shoulder as they walk into this room.
All right, so Callum, as you walk into the room, the disc that you were standing on, the floor of the gazebo, starts to slowly rise back up, and you see as it disappears into the ceiling, the hole in the ceiling. You see it disappear into the hole in the ceiling, and you hear stone as the hole that this disc disappears into closes up. Do you have dark vision or any sort of light?
I have low light vision.
You have low light vision. Okay. It is pitch black down here. So you're in a rectangular room. What I will give you is you hear the sound.
Well, I take out one of my torches and a flint and steel, and
okay. So you light a torch, and you are in this rectangular room. Right away, there is a very stiff smell of the ocean. You hear waves, super, super loud. If you wanted to give me some like a survival check or something like that.
I've still got the crafts check.
Okay. Oh, and the craft check. Yes. The craft check.
So the crafts check was an 18.
Right. So the craft check, with the craft check, this room is not natural. It was built by someone. The stones that are placed and whatnot. It looks as if it was built, and it was built for some sort of specific purpose. Running along the border of the ceiling, you do see more other carved reliefs. Again, it's just like as a brief check, you see these reliefs to kind of to figure out if they actually say anything. You would have to investigate them. But in the middle of the wall to the north, you do see that there is an open arch with a hallway. In the hallway, it looks like it goes down. The other thing that you feel is kind of like a delayed thing, but with every like crash of the ocean wave, you feel the barometric pressure of the room like almost become like oppressive and then relieves and oppressive and relieves. It almost feels like as if this area is breathing. Arriety and Trygve, so you get the after a little bit of a delay, an echo does come up from Callum. His message does come up, and you hear, on a normal day I'm a 9, but right now I'm on 11. And
the mic cut out.
So yeah, you just hear the message from
from them. Yeah.
Yep. And then a few moments after that, you see the floor slowly come back up and is back at your level, and you see the one snake again go and face the other way from the one snake.
I think Trygve's I mean, I don't know if in this case it would be parental instinct, but more sort of there is this fool who turned these things, and now I somehow feel responsible kind of instinct. Would look at Arriety as like, I will go down. You can come with, or you can wait for the others and tell them what we found.
I'm going to come with you. I don't think we should separate.
But then the others won't know where we are. We can leave a note.
We'll leave a note.
Quickly go back inside to like Ryan. I guess like in the room where we came in the beginning, like in the front door, we'll like write a note, just giving exact instructions on like how to operate the gazebo and stuff like that, and just putting it somewhere where they could find it if they were to enter house, and then go back and get onto the gazebo and offer a hand out to Arriety. And just ready? Looks at Arriety.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's ready as I'll ever be.
Go down and turn the thing back.
All right, you go down. You turn the snakes so that the two snakes face each other. And again, the floor of the gazebo slowly starts to descend.
About that warning? What is it? It just was a warning? Didn't say anything specific?
The warning, yes. It said, what did it say? Hang on. Not to open the temple, which is exactly, I think that is what we're doing right now.
Oh!
I like the idea that as it starts to descend, you pull your book out, like, hold on, let me just check what it was, and he yes, says don't open it.
Yeah. Look, I'm like, oh yeah, it's not open it.
And as Arriety and Trygve descend down, that is where we will end this session of El Juego. So please join us next time as we find out what happened with Lucius and Sinisa. What is this odd room that it appears to be underneath and in a cavern that they're going into, and what other mysteries will be unfolded. So before we go, let me go around, and if you would like to promote anything that you have going on, any projects, any projects, any businesses, any things like that, please by all means go ahead. Let us start. Trygve, let's start with you.
I am Anna or Riley, whichever one you prefer. I use they them pronouns, and I'm definitely human. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Peculiar Planets. I am active mostly on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, I guess, Blue Sky, whatever. I'm active a lot of things. I do have some things. So on next week, on the 3rd, I will be with Horde of Tales to play with their happy hour. It's a Dungeons & Dragons 5e one-shot that has a pirate team, which is really cool. We play at 8 p.m. Central European time. Then on Saturdays, usually, I play over the Misadventures League, where we play Teens in Space. However, next Saturday, we're not there. We're back on the 11th. We start at 8 p.m. Central European time. But on the 4th, next week, we'll be joining Horde of Tales again for their charity event, where we'll be having a talk about neurodivergence in the TTRPG space. And that starts at 12:30 p.m. Central European time. So that's pretty much it for me.
All right, excellent. And Callum, again, thank you for jumping in on this game. Pocket Knife was fantastic. Go ahead and give us what you got.
Thank you very much for having me. I have been Callum and will continue to be Callum once this stream ends. You just won't see me anymore unless you go find me on the internet at Theatre Callum everywhere. Basically, I run a game for the Misadventures League every Wednesday. So thank you for counter programming me, Riley. It's really great to see the support. No, all in jest. Which is a horror campaign running Kids on Bikes called Hallows Vale. We are 5 episodes in. We finally got the tech working, and we had a very fun episode that will go up on the YouTube channel soon as a VOD, where some very horrible things happen in an arcade. I also write a blog, which is theatrecallum.blog, which I have spent the last 2 days writing an investigative journalism about a show that is being put on in Wales, a trans narrative, which is being directed by a cis woman and written by a cis man, and I'm not having it, and it's ridiculous that they didn't ask any of us who could do the job. So I've spent the last 2 days writing a very succinct rebuttal to its existence. So please go and read it, because I've put too much work into it and too much emotional labor. But that's me. Thank you very much for having me. good luck with your adventures into this temple that I've pulled you into.
Yes,
I'm not sorry.
No, I know you're not.
That was fantastic. And then, Cal, again, really quick, where can we find that piece that you wrote?
It's fiatcallum.blog. It will be, it's the thing that's posted on all my social media as well. So if you find Fiat Callum on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, you will not see anything but me talking about it because I'd like shouting.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I will definitely check that out. And then Alice, if you want to go ahead and let us know what you got going on and take us out.
Okay. My name is Alice. I play your anxious girl.
Oh, you're muted.
I am muted both places because I got anxious about the green light in Discord. But I'm Alice, and I do play your anxious girly Arriety. That's me. And I'm just here. I spend the rest of my time working and being a mom to three lovely children, and a dog, and doing this in my fun spare time. So yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you, my players. It was a great session. I am Adolfo, the Nerdy Puerto Rican, and you can find me on Instagram and Threads and TikTok at Adolfo, the Nerdy Puerto Rican. And until next time, hablamos luego. Take care.